I really don't like the modern Pokemon Company trend of giving us no Pokemon news ever. It's been over a month since the release of the Teal Mask, and we've had barely any announcements, but I do want to get everyone caught up as we go into late October, as we get closer to the release of the Teal Mask DLC, and maybe we can also check out some history to see where we're at, because it's been a while since I've done that. So if you enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, comment your thoughts down below, and use code VERLICIFY for 20% off your G Fuel order. It is spooky season. Glow in the dark shaker, get some merch, get some new cans and flavors and all kinds of good stuff. The Indigo Disc is going to be bigger and better than the Teal Mask, so it will be a huge mistake if you don't have G Fuel ready. Well, let's get into the Pokemon news. So, Blissey raids are returning in just a few short hours for a few days, pretty much over the weekend. October 20th, UTC, so that's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific time, until October 23rd, UTC. Also, if you don't connect your game online, you can hold on to those Blissey raids like you've done in the past. That way you can keep on getting Terra Shards. We now have the Glimmering Charm. So if you've picked up that, this does stack with the raid events, which means you're going to be getting 10 bonus Terra Shards per Blissey raid. So if you thought the event was busted before, yeah, that's going to make it crazy. Me personally, I hate completing the decks. It's too annoying and tedious. I haven't gotten the Glimmering Charm. I tried setting up for completing the Teal Mask Pokedex, and then when I was like going through my Pokemon home and the Pokemon I have and needed to catch, it just didn't seem worth it to me. So, like, the sooner you got this, the better. Also, people that have, like, a completely organized Pokedex order living decks just, like, transfer between games. Yeah, you won this time. Also, if you've been working on completing the Kitakami Pokedex, now is the time to finish up, and then you're going to be set for the Blissey raids. Or, again, you can just download the raids, have them not connect online, and then eventually just get tons of Terra Shards. After that, receive a random Herba Mystica in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So you use the password sweet or spicy until September 30th. Oh, I thought that was a typo, like it was until October 30th, but no, you have until 2024 to grab an Herba Mystica. It's not a lot, but I guess if like you're ever just claiming an event, remember this, and then easy. Life is like a bag of Herba Mystica. You never know what you're going to get. Find out if your fortune is looking sweet or spicy by randomly receiving an Herba Mystica in Pokemon Scarlet or Violet. But with all the Terra raids that people have been running and the Battle Stadium rewards, this just doesn't feel like much. I guess maybe even Game Freak knows, like, there's nothing going on in Pokemon right now, and they aren't planning on giving us any kind of news, so here you go. Nothing to hold you over. After that, I wanted to talk about this. Came out almost a month ago, where we have the hard copy of the Hidden Treasure of Area 0, and it's going to be releasing Friday, November 3rd, but this is not the release date of the DLC, which is why I didn't cover it, because, like, I talk about this, but it's still kind of more nothing. That doesn't really mean much of anything. Didn't update on the YouTube channel, like, hey, go out and buy this, or get ready for the new product, but the website does talk about this. So the Pokemon Scarlet Violet DLC bundle pack, and that's pretty much what it is. So bundle packs of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, plus the Hidden Treasure of Area 0 DLC are slated for release Friday, November 3rd. That means the DLC is coming out November 3rd, right? But you will need to download an update to play Part 2, the Indigo Disc, after it launches in winter 2023. Okay, so we're still on the winter 2023 release date, which is why we haven't heard anything about it since this tweet. But again, that's not a release date. No trailers, no like hard big announcement on, yo, Indigo Disc is happening now. However, it has not been pushed back to 2024 like all those idiots and Bring Back National Dex and Game Freak bad people keep saying. So we're gonna have to wait until the next trailer like announces the date and gives us more information. With the way things have been going, I'm not expecting a late October trailer. Early November seems about right. There might only be like one more trailer until the release, because we've gotten a little bit of information, but a lot of it is vague. So I guess maybe that's it. They're just like, hey, new Terra type. We'll not elaborate any further. Go play the games. I also wonder how much of the story expansion they can put into the new trailer without giving too much away. So we're just going to have to see what features are coming in the DLC with the next trailer, That's kind of where we're at on like the release date and stuff. So yeah, the biggest news is Blissey Raid, stock up now. If you have Glimmering Charm, you're stacked. It's crazy to think Pokemon X and Y came out over a decade ago now, but the Pokemon news back then just hit different, and it did up until like Pokemon Let's Go, where they started dialing back on the news, and then Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet gave us almost nothing. But back then, we had Koro keeping things spicy. Really, the only place to find good Pokemon news was Cerebi. And even in years that didn't have a new generation of Pokemon, it still felt like there was interesting Pokemon news or the expectation that something cool could happen. So I'm going back to September 2013 with this one, the month before X and Y, because we're talking about October, well, that's the release of the game. And there were still like teases and interesting things going on with new Pokemon reveals, also pretty consistent on that. I also found this, and it kind of blew my mind. During the final episode of Pokemon Smash, it was finally fully showcased how Mega Evolutions work in battle, answering a question that has been in place in some parts of the fandom since the revelation. It proved you can have a Mega Evolution in combat if your opponent also has one, with the footage being the first to showcase 2 Mega Evolutions being in battle. I don't remember that being a thing, but I guess the Pokemon community has always been this bafflingly stupid, because people are like, oh man, if you Mega first, then that means the opponent can't Mega until your Mega's gone. That was actually like a discussion, and it seems like this was one of Joe Merrick's crusades against the stupidity of the Pokemon community before he really became the spicy internet personality that he is. As seen in this battle where Mega Ampharos was used against Mega Blaziken, it confirms it's 1 per trainer in battle, not overall 1 per battle. Did people even think like 1 per battle? Like you had to get some kind of requirement, and if you beat your opponent to the race, you got the only Mega in the game? Wow. That's stupid. So yeah, there were Pokemon shows, there was Koro, there was news, there was just a lot of interesting stuff going on. Now we're just kind of at the mercy of official Pokemon outlets giving us no trailers or no excitement and hype ever. Awesome. Going back to Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, demos were going on for ORAS, and then we had the Datamine and a lot of spicy stuff then. So keeping the news exciting. Yeah, that's right. There were just like demo missions that unlocked over time for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Cool. New screenshots from random listings. That was always cool. Yeah, like we don't even have that. We're not even getting like little bits of gameplay and pieces to kind of break apart. And even when we do get official information, it just doesn't feel like a lot. It's like, come on. Get a little bit more about how this feature's gonna work, and then they gave us Pokemon and news in the bundle, and that's kind of it, and some of the new moves. And then I wanted to see what was happening in 2015, the year where there was no game, because it was X and Y, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, year break, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and that was where it was just kind of like getting a bit more desperate for any kind of Pokemon news. Online competitions, Pokemon Shuffle shenanigans, but we have like Pokemon Masters as well as Pokemon Unite, new Pokemon Unite because we got Mimikyu and Blaziken and stuff, Spooky Cup, Scrappy Skirmish, Mystery Dungeon, and then some distributions, shiny legendaries, and yeah, it doesn't really seem like too much else going on, but even in this time, the Pokemon community felt more alive and engaged and interacting and stuff. But yeah, very short. Like, we just kind of scroll through it and not a lot of crazy information. So, yeah, it's a mix of the Pokemon community constantly getting worse, but also always being terrible. However, that's been a theme of this channel for the last decade. And then no one wanted to play the games, no one engaging, and the Pokemon Company doing nothing to hype that up. After looking back at some of the older Pokemon news, it felt like there was a bit more going on. We also had like one of those revelations where going back through the trailers for Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, it's like, wow, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the follow-up game of a generation, got more trailers than like Pokemon Sword and Shield or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So we just kind of waiting now. And I guess that's kind of it. Like, October, nothing. November, nothing. This feels like March, April, when we get the Pokemon Day announcement, and then we don't have anything until June. So we're kind of in that area, and then maybe it speeds up, because then we get DLC, then we have Pokemon Day in 2024, and then we get to see what the future of Pokemon is. But right now, everything's really messy and boring, and it doesn't really seem like there's anything to find or extract from that. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.